Hi, this is Natalie Rides from SBR Picks. Now this Sunday 25th will see the 63rd edition of the Miss Universe Pageant held in Doral, Miami, where beautiful women from around the world compete to be crowned Miss Universe 2014. Now today we're going to take a look at the betting odds on offer and see which contestants we think will win the crown. Here now to help us point us in the right direction is William Hill's specials host, Lee Phelps. Lee, thank you for being here.
No problem. I like this job that you've given me.
I can see. You've not got a hard job, I have to say.
It's easy, yeah, it's easy enough. I just need to get a winner. I was like, the Miss World video, it was, and the prep I did was crazy. I did more prep for that than I would do for an old football match. But we need a winner, I think, this time. I've gone for a big price this time. I won't reveal yet, but I've gone for another outlandish price here. I think it might have a chance.
Great. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I tell you, I looked at all of them. I just couldn't decide myself. So I'm glad you're on board here to help point us in the right direction. Now, firstly, before we start, could you tell us what is the difference between the Miss World pageant and the Miss Universe pageant?
Well, there's a few differences. I mean, one of the differences is that Miss Universe is much bigger. It's watched by a much bigger audience. I mean, it's taken very seriously in the USA. It's the it's the ultimate end to the Miss USA contest. So, Miss USA is a huge pageant in America, and then it leads on to Miss Universe. I mean, you're talking about Donald Trump being behind this and NBC, so huge television network, huge money from the Trump empire as well, so very important. Miss World started in Britain. It's a lot more twee, if you like. It's more about kind of how nice the girls are and that they hope for world peace, whereas Miss Universe has that message behind it. It has world peace is its message, and it brings a lot of girls together from different nations, but it's a lot simpler, and it's a lot more about the beauty pageant, the kind of thing that you see in the States, rather than just about nice women from around the world. The other difference is that Miss World has become quite convoluted over the years. If anyone watched the video that we did or read the article when we previewed Miss World, there were so many different facets to it, weren't there? I mean, they had to do like long jump, and they had to do, swimming and a comedy routine and all sorts. Miss Universe is basically, we have a preliminary, which narrows it down to 15 from the judging panel. One more is added through a public internet vote, so 16 go through to the final on the 25th of January, and then it's down to swimsuits, evening wear, and a personality interview. So the classic interview that you see with the host, where you get to know what they're about and how they are in front of camera and how well they appear in front of judges.
Yeah. Would you say, though, it's kind of purely based around looks? And in the end of the day, how can someone decide who looks better than another person? As they do say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just on looks. I think, obviously when they've got the swimsuit on, when they've got the evening gown on, it's about how they are on the catwalk, how they hold themselves, how confident they are. And I think there's a lot of stuff that we don't see as a viewing public. So in the build-up to Miss Universe, obviously the judging panel and the people who run the Miss Universe organisation will get to know the girls, won't they? I think if a girl's made no effort in the build-up, for instance, I don't really think that she's going to have much of a chance of getting into the last 16. I think that the work goes into getting into the 16. Once you're in the 16, it gets down to finals night. Then it's down to your performance on the evening, whether that be on the catwalk, in front of the microphone, in front of the camera, and how you carry yourself and how good you look in an evening gown and in a swimsuit. So it's a combination of things again, but I think the looks is more important in Miss Universe than it is in Miss World.
Okay. Well, last year's winner was Gabriela Isla from Venezuela. This year's Miss Venezuela is fourth favourite to win. She's priced 11. Can Venezuela retain the crown for the second year?
There's a lot of people saying that they will. I mean, it's rare that happens, but a lot of the experts, when you read some of the blogs online, and there are a lot of blogs online, one good one for anyone who wants to do a bit more research, having read this, is globalbeauties.com. 5 or 6 experts on there, and what they do is they rank the girls according to how well they think they can do, how close they are to getting the crown. And if you get anything over 4.5 and above, then you're very close, 5 being the maximum. So, Miss Venezuela gets a lot of ticks from a lot of the judges. I'm not sure she will win back-to-back. I still think they will want to share this round a little bit. I think, it's very, like you said at the start, it's very difficult to judge between one girl and the next in terms of look. She's obviously stunning, they all are. I'm not so sure with Miss Venezuela. She's got everything to win, don't get me wrong. I just think the fact that it would be back-to-back, it's a little bit like my argument about Real Madrid not winning the Champions League, if I can bring soccer in for a second. I don't see them winning it back-to-back. I think it'll be someone else's turn. So I'm saying no to Miss Venezuela.
Okay, well now it's interesting to note that Miss USA has won 6 of its 8 universe titles when the event has been staged in the States. Miss USA is joint second with Miss Mexico to wear the crown. Is she worth considering?
I think so, yeah. I think you can get around 9.0 for Miss USA, and I think that stat alone is good enough. You know, again, you know, according to a lot of the judges online, you know, that she's got lots of support. It's almost like a bit obvious, I think, if she were to win, because it is at home, because it is. I mean, a lot of them tend to be in the USA because of the, you know, the network and the fact that where the money comes from. Every chance of winning this, my bet is much bigger price, and I think there are two who I would have savers on. So when I reveal the bet that I really like, you know, which is a double figure price, I'd be willing to have a smaller bet on Miss USA just as a saver, just in case, because it wouldn't be a big surprise to anyone in the Miss Universe world if they made that 7 out of 9 wins being on home soil.
Okay, so you say double figures, so then I'm counting out then Miss Great Britain, who is treble figures. I believe she's 101. So I'm guessing she's not your choice.
No, you can count. You're safe for counting Miss Great Britain out.
Yeah. Well, before we get to your top tip here, we've got to talk about this year's favourite, which is Miss Colombia, and she's priced 7. Is she the obvious choice? And what makes you say not go with the bookies' favourite here, and then go with your choice? And what is your choice in the end?
Yeah, Miss Colombia, again, you know, every chance. I just think in a contest like this, when you can go online and look at a blog, and there'll be 6 judges, 6 people who look at this year in, year out, all the history, everything at their fingertips. Now, only one of the 6 go for Miss Colombia. And, you know, I just wonder to myself, well, why back at such a short price when everyone's split, when it's wide open? You know, some people say Miss Venezuela, some people are keen on Miss USA, one goes Miss Colombia, others go Miss Spain. There's a lot of love for Miss Spain this year, by the way. Another one who's a decent price. You can get around 17 for her. And I think, you know, people say she's a bit of a combination of last year's winner and the winner of the year before. Other people say, well, she's a bit too beauty queen. But going back to Miss Colombia, she could well win. But it's the price that puts me off, Natalie. I can't be backing the shortest price in something that's so wide open. I mean, in Miss World, to be honest, the favourite won, didn't she? Miss South Africa came home and won the title. So, you know, maybe I'm overlooking her in this case. But I don't see there were a lot of people saying that she was the obvious favourite in Miss World. I don't see the same with Miss Colombia. It's not universal, you know, appeal for her. I think she's just one of many who could win it. So it's just the price really on Miss Colombia. If she was 12, 14, I'd be saying, yeah, it's a great bet.
Yeah.
But at the price we can get right now, not for me.
All right. So who is your top tip then to win Miss Universe?
Well, Miss Philippines is my tip, and there are a few reasons why. I mean, the Philippines have been doing fantastically well in pageants recently. I talked about it before the Miss World contest. There are lots of other pageants, you know, Miss International, that they've been doing very, very well. They've had an unbelievable run in Miss Universe without winning. Been in the top 5 for the last 4 consecutive years. And in fact, last year, Miss Philippines was the public vote who got into the final 16. Now, no woman has ever been voted in by the public and then gone on to win, but she was the highest ranked public voted entrant ever. She finished 3rd. So, you know, they've been finishing 3rd and runner-up and 4th. So I'm thinking another top 5 finish here, because they seem to have this knack of doing it, and it's a really big thing in the Philippines. A couple of other reasons. She was invited out a lot earlier than some of the other girls. 4 of the girls were invited out very early to promote this pageant and do all the kind of media work for it. In the past, women who've been invited out early seem to have done very well and got into the top 5. Manny Pacquiao, any boxing fans out there will know that Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest boxers of our generation. He is arguably the greatest sportsman to ever live in the Philippines. He's one of the judges on the night. Now, I'm not saying that he's got sway, but, you know, to have Manny Pacquiao there, Philippine legend, and maybe we're on the eve of him fighting Floyd Mayweather, a lot of publicity around that at the moment. I wonder if he could have an extra bit of sway, if there's a bit of love for the Philippines. And I was reading an article in the Manila Bulletin where it said that a previous Miss Universe expert has predicted consecutively good finishes for Philippine entrants into this, and he's predicting a top 5 finish here for Mary Jane, and she could win it, he says. There's a lot of things, I think, conspiring there. The final is that she's had a terrible year. And I don't want to bring this into kind of a betting preview, but she's had a lot of tragedy in her family this year, and she's dedicating this whole journey of hers to her family. She's lost grandparents, she's lost an uncle who was actually like a father. And I think there's a real personal story behind her. And I think, again, that if that comes out in a personality interview, then that could well, that could well sway judges, I think. So she's 26.0, Natalie. I mean, it seems a very big price for someone who I think will be in the 16. I think will get into the final, and I think has got a really good chance of finishing the top 5. I think at a price like, if she's in the top 5, then 25-1, 26.2 is looking a very nice price indeed, as far as I'm concerned. So, bit of a flyer, like I say, if you have a saver on Miss USA, but that's my main tip, Miss Philippines.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Lee, you made a very strong argument there for Miss Philippines. I'm almost tempted myself there to put a few pounds on that. So Miss Philippines priced 26 there. Those are the odds if you want to make the bet. Lee Phelps, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.